StatsCamp South Africa is a collaborative effort between Optentia at the Northwest University, Utrecht University, and the founder of StatsCamp, Professor Todd Little.
The significance of StatsCamp is that we have the best teachers available and the best participants. We bring them together in this environment where they can be inspired and they can actually take the next major step.
There's an eagerness in the community to acquire the advanced training. It was right around 2003 when I began to realize that there were so many departments and universities that didn't have dedicated programs for advanced training. So it was in 2003 that I decided that I would just put up a shingle on the webpage and offer a structural equation modeling StatsCamp.
StatsCamp is an internationally recognized, award-winning educational event focused on advanced statistical training at a graduate and postgraduate level. This year, StatsCamp was held in South Africa for the first time at Mongena Game Lodge, north of Pretoria.
StatsCamps are organized all over the world, mainly in America and in Europe. And it's a great honor, I think, to have the first StatsCamp organized in Africa. And it really helps African people to take the next step in their data analysis.
We're also working to partner with different universities to do joint efforts where StatsCamp and the universities, like Northwest University here in South Africa, are partnering together to provide more of a training opportunity for the adjoining universities in a region.
The goal of the StatsCamp is to give participants practical, hands-on instruction in current trends and practices in advanced statistical analysis. The workshop focused on hands-on training in statistical software such as M+ and R, and participants were encouraged to bring their data.
Yeah, so the main difference between the American StatsCamps or the European StatsCamps is that normally we have lectures in the mornings, exercises in the afternoon, and participants typically don't work with their own data. And this is the very first StatsCamp where participants work with their own data. So for us teachers, it's also very interesting to see how this works.
The event, organized by Optentia at the Northwest University, gave 52 participants from various countries a uniquely African bush experience. Between instructional and workshop sessions, participants were treated to game drives and uniquely South African barbecues.
The name Mongena is in one of the native languages. It's called the Buchenhout tree or the Transvaal beech. It's a tree which is in the area. What is important to us is the total experience the guests get here, including the food, the service, and the overall safari experience they can get here.
In this environment, you can feel inspired. I mean, listen to the sounds of nature. I mean, if you sit and think for a moment, you know, they're not students that are chatting, it are actually birds. And if you look over there, you see zebras and wildlife. And that gives you inspiration.
It is early morning at Mongena. The camera crew and an expert tracking team set off to find an elusive apex predator.
Nature is, I always say something is, if you work in it long enough and constantly enough, you learn to respect it, enjoy it, and fear it. I rely on my tracker just as much as he relies on me in the end.
Between the two of them, Cecil and his tracker have several years of experience tracking African wildlife.
He's been working here for 6 years now. And when I started working here, I immediately worked with them, and yeah, it's just been enjoying ever since.
Vehicle-mounted teams at Mongena are in constant radio contact to report sightings of wildlife. All rangers follow a strict protocol, and no more than 2 vehicles are allowed at a site to minimize stress on the wildlife. In addition to the information he receives over the Mongena radio net, Cecil also relies on the keen eye of his Shangaan tracker.
So earlier we heard on the radio they found some lion tracks. They didn't know where they went to this morning. And they followed them up, but they went into a thicket area. and we decided just to continue on. That was quite early, around 7 o'clock.
The team's experience working together requires no more than hand signals.
I saw the tracks in the ground. I tell Ceci the fresh tracks.
Yeah, we just worked that thicket area pretty well. And
Just check that stump, man.
Finally, this collaborative effort between modern communication technology and African bushcraft pays off.
there's a lot of different things that you need to really have and really understand and learn to appreciate in order to really become a good guide. I mean, the best time, I guess, in the end is if you really get to see that the people you take out and that you really make a difference in their lives, and also that you in the end just strive to make a difference in nature as well.
We had the opportunity during the first 3 or so days to go off on morning safaris and afternoon safaris. Every single safari experience was breathtaking, different, eye-opening. I am so grateful that you have identified this beautiful, beautiful lodge.
But the teamwork and collaboration at Mongena also extend to the researchers. Just as wildlife tracking teams combine their efforts to track game, so too do the StatsCamp researchers collaborate to solve complex statistical problems in real-world data.
It's very exciting just to be able to work with people who are really interested in methodology from different disciplines.
Nobody knows all the answers, neither do we. So figuring it out together, that's the fun part of it.
I think it's a good opportunity to collaborate. I also think it's a good opportunity to see where everyone else in the world is in terms of what people are studying or what they need to know or what they already know.
And all the participants were talking to each other and they were sharing ideas, and already during the game drive, people were discussing statistics. Can you imagine? During a game drive, people were talking about significance, about statistical models. And I think the rangers and the trackers were really surprised by that. I mean, normally people chat about all kinds of stuff, but now statistical models were being discussed in their truck, and that was cool.
Okay, so tell us about the koalas and the tigers in your reserve.
Yeah, I'm still looking to get there, man.